How you guys doing tonight? It is 10:14 p.m. on the East Coast. Man, I think I need a haircut. Definitely feel like I need a haircut. So I just want to pop on and say, hey, I had a couple of really interesting conversations today, and I want to share with you. I see Sawyer Loisel, how you doing? Robert Brooker, how you doing? Violetta, how you doing? So I had a great conversation with somebody. Thank you for sharing, Sawyer. You rock, man. Sawyer, you always share my stuff, bro. You rock. Why is it? Hey, by the way, have you guys noticed that on the computer now, if you're on Facebook on the computer, it pops up like the preview pops up in the bottom left-hand corner, and now like you start hearing it immediately. What's up, Chuck? Chuck Studebaker, what's up, brother? So it's in the so the audio is playing on the little thing that pops up at the bottom of the. It's weird, man. It just happened all of a sudden. Thank you for sharing, Chuck. I appreciate it. So I want to share with you some thoughts. You know, we all go through stuff in life. All of us. We all go through stuff. Told to log in several times. Yeah, it's weird. So we all go through the trials and tribulations. Hey, Kim J. Russell Wisegal. Is that right? Did I say all that right? Aiden, how are you? 18 days until Chuck Studebaker gets elected to the school board in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Everybody, if you live in Gwinnett County, Georgia, make sure that you go vote for Chuck Studebaker. Glenn Imes, what's up? What's up? Elise Caphart. Elise, I responded to your message the other night at 4:30 in the morning. You said, are you up? I'm like, what? I wasn't. I saw it the next day. But anyway, so what's up, Leanne? How are you? Glen Lundy, my man, my brother. How in the world are you? Jill Walls, there's my wife, Jill Rainey Walls. She's out of town with our little girl. They're at some dance convention learning some new moves. Will they let Canadians vote there? I don't know if that's the way it works. Hey, Tom, how are you? Ermelo, what's going on, brother? So listen, I got to tell you, like when I have been down in life. I mean, I have been down. Johnette Lash, hey. Glenn, dude, listen, man. Glenn, are you still on here? I got to tell you something, man. Listen up. Like, Glen Lundy, you are my hero, bro. Like, I love you, dude. Like, that video you did the other day was filled with so much intensity, so much passion. My wife walked into my office and I said, check this out. Oh my gosh, check this out. She sits down. I just got off the phone with Lisa and we were talking about it. And so my wife sits down. She goes, that dude is for real. Holy crap. She couldn't even believe it. She saw you when I interviewed you on the show and she thought you were legit. But dude, after that video, if y'all haven't seen Glen Lundy's video that he did the other day, go to his page. Hey, Abigail. And it's where you learn some new dance moves. What's up, Eric Cornelius? So go check out Glen Lundy's video. I'm telling you, man, it is off the hook. He literally goes all in. He goes all in, man. Shows his heart, exposes his heart, man. I'm telling you, Glenn, you've got some big things coming, bro. Joe Ingram, how you doing? Gomick, am I saying that right? Gomick. Dude, Glenn, you, man, just remember me, man. Just remember me, man, because I'm praying for you. I'm sending you all kinds of love and positive energy. So remember me when you get your private jet. Man, just stop over here in Columbus, Ohio, and pick me up. Let me go for a ride with you. What's up, Robert? How you doing? Robert Moore, my man. Deborah Leanne, how you doing? So listen. Things go wrong sometimes in life, right? And a lot of times people get into these places where they just get stuck, man. And it's all up here, okay? I just Googled it. I Googled it. And we all know Google can't be wrong. I'm just kidding. But I Googled what percentage, what did I Google exactly? What percentage of the things that we do we do unconsciously? And boom, first thing that pops up is this study from Auburn University. And it says, according to cognitive neuroscientists, we are conscious only about 5% of our cognitive activity. So most of our decisions, actions, emotions, and behavior depends on the 95% of the brain activity that goes beyond our conscious awareness. Hello? Do you get that? Hey, Emily O'Neill, thanks for watching. So listen, 95% of the stuff that you're doing unconsciously. Like you're not even aware of it. It's like blinking your eyes. You're blinking, you don't even realize it until you think about it, but you don't realize you're blinking, right? It's an unconscious activity. Your heart beating, it's doing it unconsciously. You don't have to put any thought into that. The breath that you take, you're doing it unconsciously. Almost everything that you do is on an unconscious level, right? So I was talking to somebody and today and I was like, look, you got to get control of it. And here's how you do it. This is how I did it. Okay. This is how I did it because I was raised with negativity and all that, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not whining. It's just the way it is. We're all raised with something, right? We all get that negative whatever. We get that undertone of crap going wrong or this or that, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I heard Jack Canfield one time talk about it. I think it was in the movie The Secret. And he said, I was raised and I watched my mom get, some bad things happen and this and that. And my dad was abusive and whatever. And he said, you know what that's called? That's called the whatever. Like, that's just the whatever. What are you doing with your life today? And so one of the things that I did a long time ago, I've been sober 16 years. I'm in recovery, been recovered from alcoholism for 16 years, over 16 years sober now. And I was thinking about this and I'm like, one of the number one thing that I did 16 years ago that's kept me sober and kept me in line all of these years is one of the very first things I did is I did a searching and fearless moral inventory of me. In other words, I went back to the beginning and I wrote down everything I had ever done wrong. I wrote down everything bad that had ever happened to me. And I can remember that somebody's like, oh, you got to pray for blessings in that person's life that did you wrong. And I said, blessings? I said, how about I pray for him to burst into flames? How about that? And they're like, no, that's probably not the, what we're talking about here. And I'm like, okay. So like after some time, I started doing it. And it was about 30 days into it, I realized that I genuinely was sending this person blessings. I genuinely meant it for the first time in 35 years or whatever it had been, right? So like, man, you gotta look at you. You gotta look at you. When things aren't going right, you've got a part in it. You've got to accept that. Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, the very first principle is take 100% responsibility for every single outcome in your life. And when you do that, when you accept 100% responsibility for everything, well, guess what? That means you don't look out there. You look at here, right here. What is it with me that attracted that caused it, that whatever it was? So you write that stuff down and you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive the people that have done you wrong. That's a given. That's a given. If you can't get past that, then you're going to be stuck for a long time. And until you forgive the people who've done you wrong, until you forgive the people that have done you wrong, you are still being held hostage by that person. You're still their prisoner. So you got to learn how to forgive. You got to learn how to forgive. And I truly believe that that's not something you can do on your own. I believe that there's a power greater than all of us that will teach you, that will guide you, that will help you forgive the people who've done you wrong. And when you forgive the people who've done you wrong, you gain true power, right? So forgive, but here's the big one. This is the really big one. The biggest thing is, you have to forgive yourself for what you've done wrong. And if you're walking around saying, but I've never done anything wrong, then guess what? You'll lie about something else too. You'll lie about other things. Everybody's done something wrong. Everybody. I don't believe in this whole, the Pope is sin-free. I'm sorry, Pope, but I don't believe that. I mean, you know, I'm not going to go into being a biblical scholar, but like, dude, for all have sinned and fallen short, right? No excuses. That's right, Mitch. No excuses. So, and is that Andrea DeMarco Lopes is on here? Oh my gosh. So listen, well, thank you, Andrea, for jumping on. So forgive the people who've done you wrong, and forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for what you've done wrong. If you don't, it's going to be a long, miserable existence for you. I'm sorry, but it is. So you've got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive others. And the way that I've done that in my life is I literally just pray for them. I just send them blessings. I send them love, and I send them positive energy. And I pray. I can remember being told, you need to pray for that person to have the same exact blessings in their life that you want in yours. Well, I'm like, well, but those people did me wrong, man. How can I do that? They did me wrong. You don't get it, man. They did me wrong. And I did that for so many years of my life, and I lived in so much misery as a result of it. So you've got to pray for the people that have done you wrong. You got to pray for the people that have done you wrong, and you have to forgive yourself. And forgiving yourself starts with forgiving others. And once you start, what's up, James Springer? Man, I just boarded my flight back to Nashville. Okay. Oh, dude, yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you hopping on, brother. So, like, forgive. I'm not saying forget. Don't forget. That doesn't mean open up the door to let them hurt you again. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about forgiving. Don't let other people walk on you, but let them go. Let them be free from all of that. Man, if you'll just let go of that stuff, I mean, I'm telling you, if I sat here and made a list of everybody that's done me, I don't think I have enough time left on this planet. So you know what? I just let it go, man. Let it go. You've got to forgive them. You got to let it go. And then you have to learn to forgive yourself. And you may say, well, hey, Scott Compton, how you doing? Jim Weaver's in the house. What's up, Jim? So, like, if you think you haven't done anything wrong in your life, and you've never written it all out, like, okay, this is what I've done wrong. And I mean, start at the beginning. Like, you know, when you were 6 months old or a year old, and you grabbed that doily on your grandma's coffee table and you pulled it, and crash, her crystal lamp broke all over the floor. Like, dude, that stuff's still up there in your unconscious mind. That's up there in your unconscious mind, and you got to let that go. But that's not bothering me. How do you know? Are you a neuroscientist? You don't know. So, hey, cover all your bases, man. It's not hard. Like, all right, let me just write that down. I broke grandma's crystal lamp by yanking the doily off the table when I was 1. I forgive myself for that. Write that stuff out, man. For real. You don't know, right? You don't know if that's bothering you or not. It's everything. Go back and you write all this stuff out. And when you write this stuff out and you start forgiving yourself, you literally are opening up your mind, you're opening up your soul and your heart to receive the blessings that I believe we're all put on this planet to experience. Every single one of you, me, and everybody I know and love, you are here to be a blessing and receive blessings in your life. Congratulations, Scott Compton. That's awesome. He got his ticket for the growth conference. So, and the third thing, and somebody recently told me, I'll just tell you who it was, Damien Boudreau. Dude is unbelievable. I was on a phone call with him, and he's like, bro, write down 60 positive affirmations about yourself. I am statements about yourself. I'm like, really? 60? I can write like 20. He's like, 60, and they all have to be different. I said, dude, 60? And I'm at like 53. I'm like, it's tough, man, for real. Like, it's when you stop and really focus on writing down 60 positive things about yourself. And he said adjectives. I think that's what he said. But anyway, like I am smart, I am handsome, I am giving, I like all of these things, right? Try it. I dare you to try it. You will be blown away. Writing out 60 positive things about yourself is not a super easy task. I'm just going to tell you the truth about that. So remember, 95% of everything that we do as human beings, according to Auburn University, I thought it was higher than that. I thought it was like 98%, but hey, 3% off is, that's not much of a difference, right? Bill Hab, Anne Marie, how you doing? Cameron Moore, what's up? What's up? So look, 95%-ish of everything you do, it says it right here. We are conscious of only about 5% of our cognitive activity. So most of our decisions, actions, emotions, and behavior depends on the 95% of the brain activity that goes beyond our conscious awareness. Think about that. Like, you're not even aware of most of the stuff you're doing. You don't even realize it. How many breaths did you take today? You don't know. You don't know. How many times did you blink your eyes? You don't know, because how many times did your heart beat? You don't know. It all happened unconsciously, right? So you may be holding on to stuff that you don't need to be holding on to, but it's affecting everything going on in your life. It's affecting everything going on in your life. So that, and then the last thing that I want to say is this. I have an iPad Pro and an Apple Pencil, and I have this program on here that's called Notability. And I literally, whenever I'm talking, Megan Wright, how in the world are you? So whenever I'm talking to anyone, or if I have a thought or an idea or anything, I literally reach over and I grab, it's always right here, right next to me. I always reach over and grab it, and I'll open it up and I'll just write it down. I'll write it down, because I know for a fact the most successful people on this planet, and the ones that I know personally, Grant Cardone, the Ziglar family, Tom Ziglar, Julie Ziglar, Cindy Ziglar, their father, Zig Ziglar. I mean, he talked about it. Write it down, plan out your days, plan things out. Write down every single thing that comes across your mind that has any kind of positive impact in your life. Seriously. Write it down. Write it all down. So, that's something that I do, and I know the most successful people in this world write down everything. They take notes. They write down everything. So write it down. So let me recap. Number one, write down all of your wrongs, what you've done wrong, and everything that's happened to you, right? Write it all down. And I've seen people have little prayer like things where they'll take that list and go outside and to a fire pit somewhere safe, and they'll set that whole list on fire and be done with it once and for all, and pray and ask for forgiveness for the people that have caused harm to them, and ask for forgiveness for themselves for what they've done wrong to other people. That's number one. Number two, that you've got to forgive those people. You got to forgive those people, and you have to forgive yourself. And that's all done, I truly believe, through some of the things that I'm talking about, sending positive energy and thoughts and prayers to the people that have done you wrong, and asking for forgiveness, asking for the ability to forgive yourself for what you've done wrong. Number three, writing positive affirmations. Write those positive affirmations, the I am statements, and write as many of them as you can. I was told to do 60 of them. I'm at like 52 or 53, I believe. But you've got to write positive affirmations. You have to write those things out about yourself if you want to reprogram. Cassie Blanchett, how are you? Rhonda, how are you? If you want to reprogram the unconscious mind, and remember, 95% of what we do is done unconsciously. So if your unconscious mind is whacking out your world and messing up your life, well, you got to do something about it. You've got to change it. You've got to change it. And I'll tell you something. I sponsored this guy one time in AA that just thought he was the smartest guy in the world, like all of us did when we first went in. Just, you know, and he's telling me this and telling me that. And here he had like 2 minutes sober, and I don't know, at the time I had 3 or 4 or 5 years sober or something. And he's telling me about how much he's got a better way to do it, and he's smarter, and he knows all this, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, bro, didn't you just get out of jail like last night for a DUI, totaled a car? Yeah, but you know, and I go, so your best thinking got you here, dude. Like, you must not, like, you got to let go of that, man. Let go of it. Like, it's insane to me how we hang on that we have to be right. You don't have to be right. You have to, your responsibility to yourself and your family is to be happy, because that happiness carries over into everything that you're doing. So learn to be happy. Learn to be free of those resentments, that pain, that stuff that you're carrying around, man. You don't need to carry that. Let it go. You got to let it go. You got to turn it over. You got to let go of it. You got to forgive the people that have done you wrong and move on from it. I'm not saying forgive and let them back in. No, shut the door, man. Get rid of negativity. There's Allison Strickler. Hey, Allie, how in the world? Vasquez, sorry. How you doing, Allie? Good to see you. Melissa Salinas, good to see you. So, like, forgive them. The door's shut. That doesn't mean forgive them and open the door back up. James Burton, what is up, my man, my brother? James Burton, that dude right there, that dude is a baller. He is for real. He's like he's running Grant Cardone's the car done. That's hard to do. Grant Cardone, the car done automotive group. He's I don't know, what's your title there, dude? I forget your title. Like the head dude of that group. But anyway, so like go. Hey Sarah, how are you? Good to see you. So make sure that you know these steps, you got to do them. You got to forgive people. Like if you don't forgive the people, including yourself, you're at the top of that list, right? That doesn't mean forgive yourself, then go out and start being a jerk again or doing bad things again. It means you got to forgive yourself. You got to send prayers. You got to send positive energy. You got to send love to the people that have done you wrong. And you got to do that to yourself too. Joshua Trevino, how in the world are you? So, listen, and the last thing is, again, like I said, 95% of everything that we're doing as human beings, we're doing on an unconscious level. So you got to reprogram that. You got to write this stuff out that I was talking about, the affirmations and writing out everything you've done wrong. Do some sort of a ceremony where you burn that list afterwards. You forgive yourself. You forgive the people that have done you wrong. I'm telling you, 16 years ago, I got sober. By the grace of God, I got sober over 16 years ago now, and my life was a wreck. I didn't understand, and if you're not an alcoholic or you don't know an addict or an alcoholic, you probably can't relate to this, but the normal for me was to be drunk. The normal for me was to keep a big bottle or two of Crown Royal in my desk drawer. The normal for me was to not be in a sober state of mind. So the fact that I got sober and I've stayed sober for over 16 years, I haven't had a drink or a mind-altering or mood-altering drug in those 16 years, is a miracle. And I'm going to tell you that the more I think about why did that happen for me? What was the cause? What kept me sober? A lot of people get sober, but very, very few stay sober. And I'm one of them so far. So far, I'm still there. I take it one day at a time. But here's the thing. I did this thing called the third, fourth, and fifth step, and all the other steps in Alcoholics Anonymous. But I did, and the most important step is absolutely coming clean with everything you've ever done wrong, everything that's ever happened to you. You write all this out and you give it to God and you let it go and you forgive. You work on forgiving. You pray for the people that have hurt you. You send them love and positive energy. And that is where forgiveness starts setting in. You're not powerful enough, I don't care who you are, to forgive people on your own. But if you don't forgive people, you're carrying around resentment. And you having resentment towards somebody else is like you drinking poison and expecting them to die. It does not work. So you have to let it go. Dr. Jason Dean, my brother, how in the world are you? Dr. Jason Dean is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Our brains believe our own voices the most. Amen. Alan Stevens, how are you? So, hey, Jason says, preach. Dude, I'm just saying, like, so many people are walking around on this planet and they can't figure out why things keep going wrong. Why they keep going wrong. You've got to let go of the stuff that's happened to you. Like I said, maybe you were a year old, maybe you were 10 months old, and you reached up, grabbed a hold of grandma's doily, and you yanked the crystal lamp off the table, and it shattered, and everybody yelled and screamed at you, and you may not even realize that you're still carrying that unconsciously, and that affects you. Maybe when you go to some old person's house and they have doilies with a lamp sitting on the table, you get sick to your stomach and you don't know why. I'm just making that up, but you know what I'm saying. But like, you've got to let that stuff go, man. You got to let it go. So learn to forgive yourself. Learn to let go of that stuff. Write this stuff out. I write a lot, man. I write a lot of notes. Craig Allen Blum, how you doing? So that's all I got. I just want to come on and tell you that, you know what? There's a tremendous amount of freedom when you're able to let go of all the negative stuff that's holding you back. And it's stuff that you don't even realize. 95% of everything that we do as human beings is being done on an unconscious level. You blink your eyes, you cannot tell me how many times you blinked your eyes today. Your heart beats, it all happens unconsciously. You cannot tell me how many times your heart beat today. You do things all day long that happen on an unconscious level, and you've got to learn how to get a hold of that. You've got to let it go. You got to figure it out, nail it down, and be free. Because once you're free, I love you too, Abigail. Thank you, sweetheart. Megan says it removes that trapped energy from the physical body. The emotion code helps. There you go. So you gotta be free. When you're free, man, all of the blessings, like you wouldn't even believe, you would not believe the conversation I had. I'm just going to tell you, I had a guy reach out to me today that is absolutely a rock star. He's now scheduled to be on my show. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hay House Productions, but the guy is responsible for helping turn Hay House Productions from Louise Hay. They published Dr. Wayne Dyer's stuff, Louise Hay, all of this stuff. Thanks, baby girl. I love you. Tell mommy I said goodnight. That's Abigail using my wife's phone. Love you guys. Have a good night. So this guy took their company, took the Hay House Productions from $3 million a year to $100 million a year. He's one of the guys responsible for that. And he reached out to me tonight. So very grateful for that. But when you clear the stuff that you've been hanging on to, all of that garbage, right? All of that garbage, when you start clearing it, you're opening yourself up to receive massive, massive blessings and surprise emails and phone calls. Good night, babe. Have a good night. So listen, just if you just joined or you're a replay viewer, hopefully, if you're a replay viewer and you've made it this far, good on you, mate. But anyway, so listen, have a wonderful night. You guys all rock. I appreciate you jumping on here. I just wanted to come on and share some of that with you. I hope it helped somebody. And if not, hey, man, don't give up on me. I promise I'll try to help you. I promise I will bring something to help you. Have a good night. Thank you all for being on here. Peace.